If your goal is to make women attracted to you, should you smile at them? Luckily, science has come up with the answer. In this video, we're going to go through the results of a scientific study called Happy Guys Finish Last, the impact of emotion expressions on sexual attraction, and I'll put a link down below to anyone who wants to see the study for themselves. The study had some really interesting data from 3 separate trials. So what they did was they showed men and women these photos, and before we get to their results, I want to ask you, look at the photos of the woman here. It's the same woman, but she's got 4 different expressions: happiness, pride, shame, and neutral. And as you look at these photos, I want you to answer these questions. Which one of these emotional expressions is the most attractive to you and why? Which one of them is the least attractive and why do you think that is? Just rank them 1 to 4, most attractive to least attractive. After you've done that, I want you to get into the mind of a woman, which you should be able to do. You watch this channel, and so you should be aware of female psychology, what they find attractive. If you're a long-time viewer, then there's really no excuse for not getting this correct. I want you to answer this one correctly. I want you to look at the photos of the man as he's making the 4 different emotional expressions and then rank what you think women are going to find most attractive to least attractive. Do not get this wrong. I'll be very disappointed. Okay, let's look at the results for the woman. If you found the woman smiling to be the most attractive, well, then you're in good company. That's what most men said. This shouldn't be surprising because look at her. She looks pleasant, friendly, kind, feminine, which is what we want in a woman. But just because men like women who are smiling, does that mean that the opposite is going to be true as well? That women are going to be attracted to men who have big smiles? I know that the cultural propaganda keeps telling us that there's no differences between men and women, but if you watch this channel, hopefully you know that that's not true, that there are inherent differences between men and women, and it expresses itself very strongly when it comes to sexual attraction. Not only do women not find smiling on men to be as attractive as men find it on women, but women actually ranked the smile on the man as the least attractive photo. Of all 4 emotional expressions, smiling was the least attractive, even less attractive than shame. Women are more attracted to men who feel ashamed than they are to men who feel happy. I mean, you hear that and you're like, well, that sucks. But there is some good news, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video. I have always loved trees, and the sponsor of today's video, Established Titles, has created a fun and unique way to help preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland. This is my certificate issued to Lord Alexander Grace, bequeathing me 1 square foot of woodlands in a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, with my own unique plot number. I've been told that the first 200 people who purchase the title pack using my link are going to have their plots effectively next to mine, which means we'll have our own little kingdom. On top of preservation, Established Titles is also working with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to plant a new tree with every order. But in addition to the environmental benefits, Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, or lords and ladies in English. So as a landowner in Scotland, you can now officially include the title Lord or Lady on things like credit cards, airplane tickets, dating profiles. People love this product. It's fun, it's quirky, it makes a great last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use the code Alexander, you're going to get an additional 10% off. So go to establishedtitles.com/Alexander. Get your gift now and help support the channel. Okay, so we want women to be attracted to us, but we can't smile at them. That sucks. That's the bad news, right? And I'm going to explain more about that in a moment. But first, let's start off with the good news, which is that women find pride in men very attractive. Pride is the sexiest emotion that a man can show. And I want to read directly from the study. Previous research suggests that women tend to seek partners who are reliable providers, whereas men place higher value on a potential mate's youth, health, and apparent receptivity to sexual relationships. Thus, women may find male pride displays more attractive than male happiness, given that a high-status man is likely to be a better provider than a friendly and approachable man. In contrast, men may show the reverse preference for female expressors, given that a friendly and approachable woman may seem more sexually interested or receptive than a high-status woman. Pride expression may convey heightened masculinity. Its prototypical behavioral components of expanded chest and generally large appearance are notably male features, and similar features, such as upper body strength, have been found to increase masculinity and male attractiveness. Furthermore, by conveying high status, pride may signal a man's competence and ability to provide for a partner and offspring. This reinforces the fundamental message of this channel, which is that women like masculinity. Pride is a masculine emotion. That's why women find it sexy. Too many men have bought into the cultural propaganda which tells them to be ashamed of their manhood, to just shrink and try and become invisible. But that's not what women want. They want you to be a presence. They want you to be confident. They want you to be masculine. Ask yourself this question: What specifically do you as an individual possess that she does not? You're both humans, so what do you have to offer her apart from the fact that you're a different gender? She's a woman, she's got heaps of femininity, she doesn't have much masculinity, but she needs that to get through life. You're a man. You have masculinity if you have the courage to develop it. So fellas, please listen to me. Be proud of yourself. Display that pride. Women like it. Be confident, be big, be masculine. It's only going to play positively for you in the dating market. Women feel safe and protected in the presence of a strong man. They don't feel oppressed by his strength. They feel protected and provided for by it. The only women who feel oppressed by a man's masculinity is a woman who wants to compete with a man. But why would you want to date a woman like that anyway? Look at this graph. Men don't want it. Men aren't attracted to prideful women. It seems arrogant. It seems masculine. That's not men being misogynistic or like threatened by a woman's masculinity. Like, look, men rated shame as women as even less attractive than pride, so they don't want some broken shell of a woman. Men want women to have some self-esteem. They just don't want to compete with women. We are men. We are masculine. We seek feminine women. That's why we like women who are smiling, because it communicates femininity. But that's the main reason why you, as a man, can't be smiling at women, because you're coming across as too friendly, too kind, too soft, too weak, too feminine. Smiling is kind of feminine. It comes across as submissive and non-threatening. And I know that that might sound weird to, all the cultural propaganda. Like, how could it be a bad thing for me as a man to come across as non-threatening? Don't we live in this culture where women are always complaining about how, threatening and dangerous men seem? But do you understand that if you come across to a woman as non-threatening, then she's not going to feel safe around you, because she correctly deduces that you're not going to be able to protect her if a more threatening man comes along. When women are seeking out a partner, they look for strength, because she's assuming that whoever she chooses as a partner is not going to be attacking her. She's more worried about the billions of other men on the planet, and she wants to make sure that you're going to be able to keep her safe from them. So what use is the smiling, non-threatening guy going to be to her? He's too friendly. He's not dangerous. Women only date men that they fear. If that sounds counterintuitive to you, I made a whole video on that topic. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description box. Women don't trust smiling men. It just seems too inauthentic, too forced, like you're trying to trick me somehow. You're just trying to pretend that you're some nice guy, because women know that deep down inside every man is a beast. Men have this masculine animal inside themselves that's violent and sexual, and as strange as this might sound, women need to see evidence of that, because she already knows it's there. So what she wants to reassure herself of is that you are aware that it's there and that you've got it under control. It's not going to randomly lash out at some unexpected moment. It's the men who deny their true nature that are actually the most dangerous and unpredictable. But as a takeaway from this video, I'm not saying you can never smile again as a man. I'm a man, I smile, but I'm in a relationship. I'm no longer trying to make women find me sexy. So even though I smile now, for the longest time, I didn't smile. I found it a really hard habit to break, to start smiling again, because back in like my early 20s, when I was trying the pickup artist stuff, like they told us again and again, stop smiling. And I found that hard to learn, because as a teenage kid, I was smiling all the time because I thought that was a way to get people to like me. I was thinking, hey, I'll just act friendly and smile at everybody, and that will make me friends. That will get me a girlfriend. It's such a superficial understanding of human relationships with absolutely no nuance to the differences between men and women. And that's what the pickup artist guys taught me back when I was a young kid. It's that women's sexual attraction is not based on you being really friendly and kind and approachable. It's a little bit based on you being a bit dangerous, a bit threatening. Be a bit mysterious. Stop smiling at women. Make your intentions and your thoughts a little bit less able to be predicted. It worked. It worked way too well. I got so accustomed to not smiling at women, like that became my new sort of habit, that years later, like after I'd finished the pickup artist stuff, I've already found my girlfriend, I was out of the dating market, but I went back onto the streets, to do these street interviews for the very early part of my channel. If you guys haven't seen that, the first like 30 or 40 videos on my channel is just me doing street interviews. So scroll back 5 years and you'll see that stuff. But when I was approaching these women, I was doing it initially the same way that I did when I was doing like the pickup artist stuff, leaning into the mystery, being a little bit unpredictable. While that style might be effective in generating a bit of like sexual attraction and interest, it wasn't particularly good at getting women to just open up and be friendly and like likable on camera and tell me their innermost thoughts. Women didn't tend to be very open and honest and vulnerable if they felt like a little bit sort of threatened in a very masculine presence. And so I had to change it up completely. I had to learn to smile at women again. Whatever they were saying, even if I disagreed with it, I would smile and nod, giving that very non-threatening, like, hey, we're just chatting here kind of vibe. It was very, very effective. And one of the reasons why my channel sort of took off and became popular was because I had that ability to get women to open up and to admit things about their preferences that they wouldn't ordinarily share to a stranger. But in order to do that, in order to be good at my job, my ego had to let go of my need for women to find me sexy. Now, that's a luxury I had as somebody who's already in a relationship. But if you're still single, then you want women to be finding you sexually attractive. So stop smiling at women when you're on the street, when you're at parties, in your Tinder profile pictures, whatever you're doing, cut the smiles out. I know that you're up against a whole bunch of cultural propaganda here, which tells you that as a man, you are dangerous and threatening and women need to feel safe around you. So it's your responsibility as a man to just always communicate, hey, I'm not a threat, I'm not a danger, I'm friendly, I'm nice or whatever. Bullshit, fuck that. That's not your responsibility. You are a man, you are a little bit threatening. That's not a bad thing. As a masculine presence in this world, you should be broadcasting to the other men around you that you're not to be fucked with. And that's actually what women want. Whatever they're saying about liking nice guys, ignore it. Pay attention to their actions. Masculine men are the ones that women are dating. You need to know this. No man ever protected a woman from another violent man by smiling at him. Now, if you found this video frustrating because you like smiling, you don't want to give it up, and you feel like venting, then you're probably going to find my latest Patreon video very interesting because it's a psychological exploration about the validity of venting. Is it healthy? Is it useful? Should you do it in the presence of men? Should you do it in the presence of women? Should you do it by yourself? It's the kind of topic that I don't tend to cover here on YouTube because it's not very, sexy or clickbaity, but it is extremely important. So if you want to take your knowledge to the next level, then please sign up at my Patreon. You'll see that video plus like 250 other videos. That's option 1 of 3 if you want to get to know my content, my worldview at a deeper level. The second option is if you're looking for specific advice for your dating life or your relationships, contact me on the platform Hey Hero. That's where you can write out your whole story, ask a whole bunch of questions, and I'll create a personalized video just for you, giving you advice. And finally, the ultimate thing to do is my paid course, 100 Sides of Women. This is recently released. The reviews have been absolutely amazing. What it is 10 video exams. In total, there's 6.5 hours of video footage for you to get through. Might take a long time, but look, it's really, really in depth, where we listen to stories, real stories that people have sent me, and then I test your knowledge of female psychology, dating and relationship dynamics, as well as behavioral psychology. So you're asked to predict people's intentions as well as what action they should take in the future, what advice you would give them. It's really, really in depth. It's the ultimate product. It took me months to create this thing, and it's only like $50. It's not that much. What's more is I give 100% money back guarantee, so there's really no risk. There's a free trial available so you can test it out before you buy it. There's a link in the description box below to a video that explains the whole thing, so click on that if you're interested.